Hey, athletes, hope you had a great workout. Please ensure to grab some fruit, some water. You definitely want to refuel your body and rehydrate. All right, so let's get started. So, today we are going to cover how to shop at this grocery store, pantry organization, how to read food labels, and ingredient lists. Okay, so let's talk about making healthy choices right from the start at the grocery store. That's truly where nutrition begins. First tip, focus on whole foods. When you're filling up your cart, try to choose items that are as close as their natural state as possible. Think about fruits, vegetables, whole grains like oats, like brown rice, lean protein, and the healthy fats like avocados and nuts. These are foods that are packed with essential vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants. Basically, everything your body needs to function at best. Second, try this strategy. Shop the perimeter of the grocery store. The next time you're at the supermarket, you will notice that the fresh produce, the lean meats, the seafood, the dairy, they're all located around the edges of the supermarket, right? The inner aisles often contain more of the processed, the packaged, and the less nutrient dense foods. So stick to the perimeter first to load up, right, on all the good stuff that you need. And that also kind of minimizes the temptation of going in those aisles that have all those processed foods. And finally, stock up on staples. Keep your pantry and fridge stocked with healthy basics. This includes things like canned beans, lentils, quinoa, oats, nuts, seeds, those healthy oils, right? So, having these versatile ingredients on hand makes it a lot easier to whip up a healthy meal or a snack very quickly when you're short with time. So, focus on whole foods, shop the perimeter, keep those healthy staples stocked. Making smart choices at the grocery store sets you up for success with healthy eating all week long. So let's shift gears slightly and talk about your pantry. Often an overlooked space can actually be a powerful tool for healthy eating. A well organized pantry means arranging your foods in a logical order. So, grouping very similar items together. For example, all your baking goods together, all your canned goods in another area, the snacks in another, right? Using storage containers and labels can make a huge difference in keeping things very tidy and easy to find. This makes cooking less of a treasure hunt and more enjoyable. Here are a few practical tips from the module. Create a snack zone. Designate a specific shelf or bin just for healthy on the go snacks. When hunger strikes, you know exactly where to look for something nutritious. Second tip, regularly declutter. Make it a habit to periodically go through your pantry, check for expired dates, toss anything that's old, and quickly rearrange as needed. This keeps things very fresh and prevents unnecessary clutter. Third tip, for easy access, keep essential foods at eye level. Those items that you use the most, put them where you can see them, right? And then for safety purposes, you want to store the heavier items on the lower shelves. Finally, set up a shopping list station in your pantry. What I mean by this is keep a pen and pad in your pantry so that you can jot down items as soon as you notice that you're running low. This saves you time and ensures that you don't forget anything when you go grocery shopping. By taking a little bit of time to organize your pantry, you create a system that supports your healthy eating goals and makes preparing nutritious meals more convenient. Okay, so this is one of the most important topics that we're going to learn from the module, food labels. So let's make reading food labels simple. There's 5 basic rules to remember. Number 1, always check the serving size. Everything else on the food label is based on this information. Number 2, look at the calories to see how much energy is in one serving. Number 3, check the macronutrients. That's your carbs, proteins, and fats. See how much of each you're getting from that serving. Number four, the percent daily value is a great guide. Aim for high percentages of the good stuff like fiber and vitamins, and low percentages of things like saturated fats, sodium, and added sugars. Number five, avoid artificial additives, high amounts of sodium, unhealthy fats like saturated and trans fats. Avoid artificial sweeteners and highly processed ingredients. By just taking a moment to read the food label, you can make smarter choices that support your health goals. It's a simple step with a big impact. Now let's shift our focus to ingredient lists. Generally, below the food label, you will find the ingredient list. This is where you see exactly what the food is made of. Ingredients are always listed in descending order by weight. This means that the very first ingredient is the one present in the largest amount in that food that you're about to eat. A simple rule of thumb is to choose foods with whole recognizable ingredients. If the list is very long and full of things that you cannot pronounce or even recognize, it often means that the food is highly processed and contains many additives and preservatives. Try to limit those. Be mindful of added sugars. They can hide under many different names. Look out for words like high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, brown rice syrup, or anything ending in OSE, like dextrose or maltose. Those are all forms of added sugar, and you want to limit those. Now, sometimes you'll see ingredients with complex names that are hard to pronounce, and some of them are actually healthy and natural compounds that have just complicated scientific names. However, it's always wise to exercise caution with difficult to pronounce ingredients, especially those that show up early in the list of foods. That tells you that that food is highly processed. In that context, they could signal artificial additives and synthetic preservatives or other substances you may want to limit because they can be harmful to your health. So scan the ingredient list, okay? It gives you a full picture of what really is inside that package. All right, everyone, it's time for a hands on activity. We're going to put into practice what we've learned about food labels and an ingredient list. So let's start by teaming up in groups of three. Take out the packaged food item that you were asked to bring today. In your groups, you're going to examine the food labels. Use the bullet points under the reading food label section of the slide as your guide to analyze them. Go around your group and have each person analyze a food label. I want you to share the serving size. Now remember, if you're eating more than one serving, you have to multiply all the numbers, okay? I want you to check the calories per serving. I want you to assess the amount of grams for each macronutrient. How many grams does the item have of carbohydrates? How many grams of protein and how many grams of fats? Look at the daily percent value. Which macronutrient has the highest percent daily value? Which vitamin or mineral has the highest percent daily value? Okay. Does the sodium and sugar have more than 5% of the daily value? Based on the overall label, is the item that you brought today healthy? So look at the slide and follow the questions and discuss amongst your team. Once you've completed this analysis, move on to the ingredient list. Scan the list. Can you easily read and recognize most of the ingredients? Does the food have added sugars such as fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, brown rice, or any other word ending in OSE? Overall, does the food seem to contain whole or nutrient dense ingredients listed on the top of the list? Finally, as a wider group, discuss these two reflection questions. What challenges or questions did you encounter when interpreting the food label today? Moving forward, What are some of the key nutrient or ingredients you are going to prioritize when evaluating a food label for the foods you buy? Take the rest of the hour to get into groups to go over this exercise. This is your chance to put into practice what we've learned today. Let's do this. All right, so if you have any questions on today's topic, please give them to your nutrition facilitator, and I will have the answers for you during your next session. Okay, it's time for my favorite part of the workshop, trivia time. So take out your phones because it's time for Kahoot. All right, athletes, so this concludes today's class. Make sure that you thank your coaches and facilitators for their time. They're all volunteers. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day.